Hello, I'm Yvonne and I'm a managing editor at Paper Tree. We're an author support company based in the US, Singapore, and India that takes care of everything related to finalizing your draft for publishing. In this video, we're going to be talking about the merits of self-publishing your manuscript, the steps and formalities involved, how to publish in print and through an online platform, and the promotion of your published book. At the end of this video, you will be able to make an informed decision on whether or not you have the skills, the resources, and the smarts needed to self-publish and promote your book. When you've successfully finished the draft of your beloved manuscript, I'm sure you have multiple questions swimming in your head about what comes next. It is at this juncture that most aspiring writers like you feel lost, because so far in the process you have been pouring your heart and soul into your personal craft. What comes ahead in the route to getting published is something you possibly have no knowledge about. It might also seem like the publishing industry is fenced off for new and upcoming writers. You might feel like your own effort to approach a publisher would be lost in the pool of submissions they receive each year. So if you're contemplating self-publishing your work to fight these circumstances, we can help you understand exactly what lies ahead. Self-publishing is definitely a viable option that a lot of talented and successful writers go for. Paper Tree, for example, routinely undertakes projects with self-published authors who prefer it over making a pitch to traditional publishing giants in the industry. The talent we have worked with in the past are now thriving with their latest works or series published in print and on online platforms. These are highly successful authors who agree that the traditional publishing industry is now outmoded and that there's less gatekeeping in the indie press or online publishing. Let's take a look at the pros and cons of this so you can weigh your options better.
The advantages are plenty, as self-publishing gives you greater control over everything. You get full control over all the creative aspects of your book's finished form, right from the narrative to the book's design. Number 2, you keep all the royalty your book earns, since there is no contract with the publishing house that defines your cut. Number 3, you get to hire your own editorial and design team that will only take ideas from you. This allows for complete agency and authority in the process. Number 4, you can set your own deadlines throughout the process. There are no risks to a contract here because of non-compliance of strict deadlines. Number 5, by extension of that, the length of time that the publishing stage will take is also yours to decide. Number 6, you will also control the frequency of royalty payouts, as opposed to being paid twice a year according to a traditional publishing contract. You can go with the monthly payouts in this case on your own terms when you self-publish. Number 7, you don't have to worry about roadblocks and rejections in self-publishing, as you are your own boss. Number 8, you also get to maintain 100% of your rights without a book deal that is restricting. There is absolutely no handover of publishing or distribution rights to a publishing house. Number 9, finally, the opportunities in self-publishing are immense because you don't have to consider market trends or strict genre standards set by traditional publishing houses. You can publish your own original work without restrictions or changes to the draft. These benefits make self-publishing a fantastic option that has set a good precedent in making uncommissioned authors very successful too.
But it's not without downsides and challenges. Most of these challenges will come from having every responsibility fall squarely on your shoulders as an independent author.
Let's look at them very briefly. It will be your responsibility to pay and make deals with the editors, designers, typesetters, and other vendors you hire. For a professional quality book, these expenses are sometimes non-negotiable. Number 2, hiring this team through your connections or through postings can be quite a challenge for a novice. Most authors cite inefficient coordination among a scattered team as the biggest challenge they've faced. 3, Recovering your expenses through the book's royalty is sometimes hard, and the project may culminate in losses. It is also harder for authors to gain credibility through self-publishing. They are less well received than traditionally published and marketed books. 5. It may get difficult for you to formulate a strong game plan for your book without the expertise of a literary agent. A lot of successful authors have their agents to thank for giving them advice, helping them build connections in the literary world, and pushing for legal rights if needed. Point 6. Book marketing as an independent author can get very expensive and ineffective since it requires a lot of industry skills like branding, the use of a platform, and even entrepreneurship. Point 7. Self-publishing will leave you with a modest beginning, especially in an online marketplace since they are controlled by algorithms that promote books with the highest rankings and sales.
Although these challenges seem overwhelming, it is getting incredibly easy to self-publish because many independent freelancers and companies are trying to form their own distinct counterculture in the industry to support aspiring authors like you. If you feel prepared to know more, we can now begin to break down the steps in this journey.
Hello, I'm Chetna, and I will be taking you through the steps and processes you will encounter while self-publishing. We will look at preparing your manuscript for the production stage, the promotions, and everything in between. The first thing you could consider is getting your manuscript proofread, copy edited, and analyzed for constructive feedback. It is important to get this done through friends or experts in your writers' circles. You could also consider hiring a professional book editor, as this is a crucial stage for producing a book. A friend or a professional book editor should ideally catch and correct all grammar errors and typos, help improve sentence and paragraph structures if needed, and give you constructive feedback on the plot, characters, space, setting, and other aspects. It is recommended for all manuscripts to go under the red pen, because this stage will ultimately make your book appealing for readers. It will not only prevent embarrassing errors from making it to the final cut, but also give you an early idea of what the reader response will be like. While it is important to get proofreading done by one person with impeccable skills for the sake of consistency, it would be equally wise to ask a handful of your trusted friends to provide you with feedback. You may use their feedback to make changes to your draft before the pre-production stage begins full steam ahead. By now you must have realized that there is so much to a book structure than just the story you have written. There's the cover, preface, acknowledgement, glossary, and so many more things. How are all of these elements seamlessly integrated into your book? This is when typesetting and book design come into the picture. Simply put, typesetting is essentially mapping out the composition of the book. Professional typesetters focus on how the text is arranged so that a reader can navigate the book smoothly. As you can see in these double-page spreads, a typesetter adds indentation, margins, individual pages, pagination, illustrations, and other typographical and visual arrangements in your book according to industry standards. On the other hand, book designing is simply the cover. A book designer understands your book and has ideas to represent it visually. Studies suggest that over 75% of people consider a book's cover page before they decide to buy it. So make sure that it is as fabulous as your story itself. Fortunately, along with the rise of self-publishing, many designers have begun to specialize in book covers. You can choose to hire a freelance designer through spaces like Upwork or Fiverr, or from a professional firm like Papertrue. Going forward, let's talk about the legal and technical side of the publication process. An International Standard Book Number or ISBN is a unique code given to your book for the purposes of identification. ISBNs are generally distributed geographically, which means that you can get a code from a nationally approved ISBN agency in your country. If you're a resident of the US, for example, you can go to an organization called BAUCL. Although having one is not mandatory to get published, there are many advantages, especially if you plan to publish in print. Number 1. Having an ISBN lets you distribute your book via retailers such as Barnes & Noble and Amazon. As a mark of authority and legitimacy, it also helps you establish yourself as a professional, as in competing with traditional publishers. Number 3. A reader can simply type their number into a database to find your book, rather than using other complicated methods. But an ISBN code does not guarantee copyright ownership. It is simply a product code. In an age where the internet enables a free flow of information, it wouldn't be surprising if you'd want to protect the book that you've worked so hard to create. You can do this by copyrighting your work. The first task is to create the copyright page. A copyright page generally appears at the beginning of a book, right before the table of contents. It includes publication details, disclaimers, credits to collaborators, and most importantly, proof that you have registered for the copyright. After getting these legalities out of the way, you can focus on researching platforms that you can publish your work on. These platforms often partner with third-party companies to bring to the table marketing, cover design, and publicity services, among everything else. Most self-publishing platforms offer you reasonable book promotion and publication deals. These platforms also offer you a higher cut from the royalty. They offer print-on-demand services, which allows readers to place an order whenever they want, which means that your book will never go out of stock. With a global reach and millions of readers, platforms like Amazon offer you the opportunity to publicize your book better. After launching your book, there are a lot of techniques by which and spaces in which you can promote it, both online and offline. Here's something that you can use as a checklist to ensure that your marketing plan is comprehensive. 1. Approach guest blogs that cater to your target audience and ask them if they can feature your promotional articles. 2. Use social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram to create paid promotional posts. 3. Have your own blog or website well before the book is ready to help potential readers find your book even before you finish writing it. 4. Confirm to an SEO-specific language that will generate enough traffic for all your online promotional material, driving up its visibility on the Google search engine. 5. Promote your book on active author groups, especially on Facebook. 6. Take advantage of Amazon's distribution channels like KDP Select, Amazon Author Central, and the expanded distribution program. If you decide to opt for the other platforms we listed, make full use of their publicity resources as well. Get in touch with smaller bookstores and inquire about book signings and organized readings of your book. So that's it from us. We hope that was a comprehensive introduction to self-publishing, one that will be a catalyst to get you prepared for this arduous but exciting journey of publishing your own book. We at Paper True would love to hear from you if you have any queries about self-publishing or even writing or editing in general. You can write to the email address given here. Or if you're eager for regular tips and insights about these topics, you can always follow us on social media and subscribe to our resource center. Thanks for tuning in.